it's Steph. Thanks for clicking. We are in my living room today because it is very hot, but either way, we are going to do my low-buy check-in. Once every 3 months, I go through my low-buy. I have been on one for the last year and 3 months. I started last May. I am allowed to buy things, but I have to meet certain conditions first. I have a point system, and the points are based on each category. I cannot finish shampoos and buy an eyeshadow palette. I have to finish eyeshadow palettes to buy eyeshadow palettes, which is not easy. The more out of control a category is, the more points it takes for me to be able to buy something, which means I need to get more empties first. I am allowed to get gifts. The gifts do cost points, but they're just going to be 1 point no matter what category they are in because I did not pick it out myself. My body care, hair care, and skin care are all included as well because those are also out of control, and this is a way for me to get them under control. This all kind of started when I realized I had a ridiculous number of skincare samples and I had no idea what they were. I was sorting through bags of samples trying to find an eye cream, and I knew there had to be one in there, but I didn't know how many were eye creams or where to find them. So I made an inventory and I figured it out. We're going to start with body care. If there is a category or subcategory where there has been no change, I just skip it. We're going to start with the bath products. These are things that you would add to a bath to make that a more pleasurable experience. And I had 5 of these at the last time, and I am now down to 4 because I did finish these. These were bath salts meant for when you have a cold. I did have a cold over the last 3 months, but these are now empty, so I am now down 1. I went from 1 point to 2, which means I can now buy something in this category. I am only allowed to make purchases once every 3 months. So sometime during the month of August, I am allowed to buy stuff. I will not be allowed to buy any beauty-related items through September or October. I do now have 4 items in this category, which is my goal, so that's exciting, but I'm going to buy one, which is going to bring me back to 5. So we'll check in again on this next time. Next is body treatments. What I call a body treatment is anything that is meant for your body that has a specific effect other than moisturization. I did finish 2 in this category. This was a moisturizer that was supposed to inhibit hair growth. It didn't, and this was a skin stick. Those are both gone. So I went from having 1 point to 3, and I went from having 16 items down to 14, but I did buy something. I did not have the 4 points necessary to purchase, but I did anyway a couple of months ago because I was completely out of shaving products. I tried shaving with just soap, but no, it wasn't a pleasant experience, and I decided to just take a -1 and buy something. So I bought a shave oil, and so I'm okay with that. Yes, I cheated, but it's not that bad because I really didn't have anything else that would serve this purpose. So I'm now at -1 point in this category. Now we're on to soap and body wash. I put them in the same category because I use them the same way and I wouldn't be using both at one time. I had 11 as of the last update, and I still have 11 actually because I did finish a bar of soap, but I actually won a exfoliating body wash. So these kind of cancel each other out. Since this was a gift, I didn't pay for it after winning, then this is just a 1 point cost. So I gained a point, lost a point. I still have 11 things, and I am still going to need 1 more point in order to buy something. Now we're into hand creams. This is actually a very juicy spoiler because I did finish one. This was in Supernatural, and so you'll be seeing my update for that project tomorrow, and this was the highlight of the project. So spoiler alert, I was at -1 point because I had gotten this in an advent calendar, which was something that I paid for. But I am now back up to 0 points. I have 3 hand creams now, which is my goal. I'm going to stop updating on this category, assuming that it doesn't get out of control again. And as I gain things and use them up, it'll just not be part of this because it is under control now. Tanning items, I actually don't want to own any, and I had 4. I finished 1, so I'm now down to 3. I don't really do points in this category because I'm not trying to buy anything else, but 1 more item down. Now we're into skincare, and we're in the cleansers. I did finish 2, 1 full size and 1 mini, which took me from -7 points to -5, and I went from owning 28 cleansers to 26, which is still a lot, and I need to be finishing 5 more in order to be able to buy something else, but I have plenty to last, don't worry. Now we're into the moisturizers that I would use during the daytime, perhaps under makeup. I had 4 last time and I did finish 1. It's a mini. That is now gone, so I'm down to 3, which is my goal. I actually do have enough points now to buy something new. I just needed 2 of them because this category wasn't so bad. So I may be buying another moisturizer this month. Face sunscreens, I went from having 14 to 13 because I finished 1, which gives me 1 point. I need 4 more to buy a new one, and I might actually hold off longer than that because these do expire and I don't want to just stockpile more if they're going to go bad before I use them. So I might kind of ignore points in this category. In either case, 1 more down. Now we're into night creams. Anything that I'm not sure I could wear as a moisturizer under makeup, I kind of categorize as a night cream until I figure out differently. I did finish 3 products in this category. There were 2 minis and a full size, so that gave me 3 more points, which brought me from -8 to -5, but I had one more item as well. I also won this night cream in that same raffle as I got the body wash, so this cost me a point and I am now sitting at -6 points, and I still have lots of moisturizer to go. Now we're into the hair care, and last time I had no changes in any hair care categories at all. That's not the case this time. I'm going to start off with shampoo. I had 17 shampoos last time and I am down to 14 because I finished 3. These were samples. This was a full size. I now went from -1 point to a +2 points. I need to finish 2 more shampoos to buy a new one. That's actually going to happen pretty soon because I have 2 little ones that are both very close. But that'll be up next, I'm sure. And I might actually buy a new shampoo anyway, and you're going to see why in a second. I also finished 3 conditioners, 2 samples, and a full size, and that took me from 8 conditioners down to 5. I now have enough points to buy a conditioner. I need 3 points, and I now have 4. I am also going to drop my goal. I originally had a goal of needing 4 conditioners. I don't think I need that many, so I'm dropping my goal to 3. I am also going to change the price. Instead of needing 3 points for the next conditioner, not this upcoming one, I will only need 2 points because this category has gotten smaller and I am happier with its size. Hair masks, I have a goal of owning 2. Last time I had 8. I did finish 2 more, giving me 6. And I am now up to 5 points, and the cost is only 6. So I just need to finish 1 more hair mask, and that's going to be happening soon too. I am glad to see this category shrinking as well. I just have the styling products divided into things that you apply when your hair is wet and things you apply when your hair is dry. And so I finished 1 of the wet styling type products. This was a detangler that is now finished. So I went from -6 points in this category to -5. I now own 23 products with the goal of only owning 4. It is going to be quite a while before I need something else in this category. I have a goal of owning 4 products that are used to style your hair when dry, and I went from having 12 of them to having 10 because I finished a full size and a sample. This was an oil, and this was something that was meant to protect hair color from sun damage. I don't even color my hair usually, so I just used it to use it. It had a little bit of hold to it, so that was convenient for when I have my hair in a ponytail. But these are both now gone, and I am going to need 1 more point to buy something else in this category. We made it to the makeup. As of last time, I owned 21 primers and I only want 3. I did finish 1, which took me down to 20, so now I have 3 points and I need 8 to buy a new primer. I have plenty of samples to keep me busy. For foundation, I actually didn't finish any in this category, but I did buy 1. I had 2 available points, which was the price for me to buy a new foundation, and I did. I bought a Fenty one. So those points are now gone, and I went from owning 6 foundations up to 7, and my goal is still to own 4. So I'm going to keep winnowing it down a little bit, but I was actually running low on liquid foundations, which is why I felt comfortable with buying this. For concealers, I went from owning 5 to owning 4, so I gained 1 point in that category, even though I threw away the little sample that I used. It's not technically gone, it's part of a Franken tint, which is now part of my foundation category. So it's accounted for there, but I am 1 concealer less than I was previously. For setting sprays, I had 2 last time, but I had 2 points that I used to buy another one. Here's the one that I bought, but I also finished one. This one's a mini and that one's gone. So I'm still at 2 setting sprays, and that is my goal. So this is going to now be a green category, and I'm going to stop talking about setting sprays in these check-ins because it is considered an under control category now. Now we're into the eye makeup. I did finish 1 brow product, so that took me from 14 brow products to 13. My goal is just to own 2, so I still need to finish another 6 more to buy any, but I still have lots to keep me going. For cream and liquid eyeshadows, I have a goal of owning 5 of them. At the last update I had 21, and I finished this shadow stick, so I am now down to 20, so that's really exciting. I went from having -6 points to -5 because I had gotten several as gifts with purchase over the course of the last year, but I have no new ones to report this time. Eyeshadows, this is probably the most exciting one, but I forgot to grab it and I'm going to have to put in a photo. I did finish 1 powder eyeshadow. It was a little sample one, but it is still an eyeshadow empty, so I went from having 134 eyeshadows to 133. I am counting each individual eyeshadow. The way the eyeshadow points work is a little bit complicated because I have to consider both number of eyeshadows and number of palettes. I currently own 20 palettes and I want no more than 4. And I currently have 133 eyeshadows now and I want no more than 50. So I need to have 5 points in order to buy a new eyeshadow palette. And when I buy a palette, it would be 3 points per eyeshadow in that palette, if that makes sense. That way I can't finish a couple of itty bitty palettes and then buy like a 30 pan palette, you know what I mean? So that way it keeps my number of eyeshadows under control as well. So I have a long way to go before I buy a new palette. I could, however, spend points for single eyeshadows if I wanted. There is no change in any of my cheek type products. Any type of bronzer, blush, or highlight is all the same, none finished and none gained. And we're now into the lips. The only change here is I did gain a lip balm. I had the sufficient 3 points last time to be able to get one, and I did. So I actually gained a lip balm. I have 12 instead of the 11 I had before, but that's okay because I was allowed in this case. Nail polish, there is a change and it is in the wrong direction, but I'm not that upset about this either. I am extremely close to finishing my black nail polish, so I bought another black nail polish because I just don't want to not have one. I paint my nails black all the time, so I really don't feel guilty about doing that. So instead of having 18 nail polishes, I'm up to 19, and I'm now at -1 point. There were also no changes at all within fragrances. I didn't finish any and I didn't gain any. I'm going to put some data on the screen for those of us who like data. This shows how I have done over the last 3 months. As you can see, I have had decreases in most categories. I lost a lot of hair care items, which is awesome after having that be stagnant for last time. My excess is down 52%. The way that calculation works is I want excess to be 0. If excess is 0, then that means that I am at my goal. And so I've gone down in most categories. I did gain that lip product, but I was allowed to purchase it. And I also gained that nail polish, but I'm going to be finishing that other one extremely soon, like within the next 2 weeks. So I'm not that worried, and then I'll be breaking even again. I did use up and not replace about $144 worth of products, which is cool. That's $144 that is not wasted, that I have determined that I don't actually need to be spending on an inventory. And then, of course, I am down 24 products over the last 3 months, which is fabulous. Even though overall I am still in negative points, I do have 15 more points than I did last time. So that's a relief because it means that I am going the right direction. I did have a large deficit of points because I bought an advent calendar at the end of last year, which I wasn't actually allowed to buy, and it cost me a lot of points and sent me way into the negative. I am permitted to buy an advent calendar this year as a reward if I am able to get to 650 or fewer products in my inventory by my November check-in. I don't think I'm going to make that. I would have to finish 52 products over the next 3 months, and I don't think that's going to happen. 24, I think, might be the best I've ever done. So that was really good, and I'm going the right direction. So maybe no advent calendar this time, but I am doing pretty well and I'm happy about that. Overall, I'd say the last 3 months went very well for this low buy with those numbers, so I am not even remotely disappointed, even if I don't think I'm on track to get that advent calendar. That's okay. And so I will see you in 3 months and we will see for certain if I have earned that. Bye.